because like it does make sense if we do have a big Republican sweep and the Republicans are controlling the let's say Trump wins and then we get another Republican in office, that means we're going to have some sort of blue sweep in the early 30s.
Yeah, and I think Follow Zone understands it. He says, yeah, cash is definitely a target.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, control the money, control the people.
We live in a good city for cash, though. Vegas is you can get your hands on a ton of cash.
You go to the the Pawn Stars, the guys on TV or whatever, the pawn shop show. You go there. There's actually a gold currency backed by the Nevada government.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so there's like a bill. I forget. I think it's like worth $10 is the lowest denomination of it, but it looks like a regular dollar.
Yeah.
But it's minted by the state of Nevada.
Okay.
And it's actually like a sheet of leaf. It's like made of gold. So you could actually like, say, hey, you can take this currency and you can use it as actual government backed currency, or you can just take what it's worth in gold. Either way, somebody's going to want it, in that type of situation.
That is Nevada getting more based, you guys.
Yeah.
Nevada getting more based. I mean,
it's go back to Wild West days. It's kind of where it's kind of like if that were to happen, it kind of resets America in that way. It's like, okay, now we're going to, redo things a little bit.
So I saw recently, now this is really recent. So I saw this thing about like the gold rush in California, that when they finally discovered, because you heard of the 49ers.
Yeah,
the 49ers, right? That's when we got popular. There's actually something called
1849.
The 1849. There was something called the 48ers.
Okay.
Which are basically, it was a bunch of Indians and Chinese and basically just a bunch of immigrants from different countries. They were mining the gold first, actually, and locals as well.
Yep.
And then eventually they and drove them to the outskirts and stuff. But
or they slave labored them in, especially with the Chinese building the railroads.
Yeah, that's some bullshit, by the way. That's
crazy
bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's
I mean, America,
it's history, but it's
I mean, America's not
I don't want to talk about the Uyghurs here, but China.
Jesus. Currently. I think I told a normie the other day, I was like,
I told a normie the other day, like, my name's Todd, by the way, Charlie.
Right. Just call them all numbers. I told a person the other day, I'm really, I really enjoyed Japan because they also look at China a certain way, and they were kind of a little bit offended. Like, why do you not hate China, but like, why do you have that kind of bent on it? And I'm like, well, do you know what they're doing, with people these days? Like, it's not the people of China are great. I have a lot of Chinese friends and everything, but the government itself is pretty bad.
Chinese miners got rich by not gambling their gains. Yeah. So a lot of the Chinese miners actually held their money. The reason there actually was a Chinatown because you got to think like there wasn't that many, it wasn't as like, even though there was a lot of people working on the railroad, it wasn't enough to like be like this. A lot of those guys who were making gold from that time, they bought land, and that's why they had this huge swath of land, and they had this control. They had Chinatown because they made their money. That and there's like reports of saying that the most of like there was more gold mined in that 10 years than there was in the whole century of the 1800s or like before. So if you went from like 1847 to 1747. There was more gold mined in those 10 next years than that whole in the whole planet. Yeah. In that one, and they found it right in California. And there's another thing. There's something called
crazy. The gold rush was
that big.
Well, not only that big, but it's what do you call it? An inflationary period yet. So
same thing happened. Just watch this. So same thing happened. This is so dorky. This is why we study history, but this is money history, you guys.
Yeah. But I wish we'd still had those $5,000 and $10,000, but 1930s and Roosevelt, God damn you,
dude! There's actually been a petition recently to like make $1,000 a bill. And it's actually exist. They do exist actually.
Yeah, you can buy a $10,000 bill for like $20,000 nowadays. You can't. I'm not even joking. I'm not joking.
For convenience sake.
Well, not for actual use, but you know what I mean, like as an NFT.
But it's getting to the point. The new $20 bill is $100.
Yep.
I mean, I would say no. It's more like a $40 bill really now. Right now,
depends on how many years out you're looking.
But by the end of this decade, $100 bill is a $20 bill now.
So you're saying Andrew Jackson's going to be the next Benjamins?
Well, then
bringing this conversation full circle.
But basically what's happening is we're kind of we're turning into the yen almost. We're like $100 bills on 1,000 yen or whatever.
I thought about that when I was living in Japan. I was like, it's kind of crazy. You can count up to 10,000 yen, and it's still only $100 or so.
Yeah.
Like now, I think it's 150. But it was 100 back then.